So now we are focusing on making the F4 help. So instead of we fixing up the file name here, we can dynamically select the file name during the runtime from the selection screen. So for that, we'll be going for this parameters, and we'll select this p underscore file type. There is one file name. Um, so that file length name data type. Okay, this data type of this is like, for example, C. I'll just give it a C. But here we'll go for at selection screen on value request. On selection screen on value request for this p underscore file. Now, what is at selection screen on value request is it will work only for that particular field. Okay, this at selection screen will work for only for that particular field. So we'll call a function module called f4 underscore file name. F4 underscore file. So in this F4 underscore file name, we have something like exporting that and comment exporting program name SYHD proc dynpro SYHD dynpro. Field name. The field name is something which will comment, but this p underscore file. Okay, this p underscore file is something which we have to fill. So this p underscore file we have given randomly as C, right? But the data type should be exactly same as this file name which we have in the function module. So how do we get the data type of this file name? We have to double click on this file name, F4 underscore file name, function module. Let's go into it. And then for the file name, there is a parameter called file name. File name. So for this, there is an associated type called this one. So the same file name associated type should be copied, and we'll come back, and we need to assign the same to this one, the parameter, because with the same properties, if we create a p underscore file name, a file parameter, and then that value is been passed to file underscore name, so it will be easy for us to add. Now, at selection screen on value request is something which we need to understand. And if we have started at selection screen on value request, because we have introduced some other event there, we need to mandatorily use startup selection here. After this, here we have to start the startup selection. Startup selection. Now here in this we have to pass this p underscore file. Instead of this, we'll give p underscore file. Now what happens is dynamically we can select the file name. So I'll create a file name. So let's say I have selected this and saved it in some desktop. Okay, mk01 is the file name. So what we can do now is, now I have saved it in mk01. So we'll go ahead with execute this program, and here dynamically we can select the file name. So we can go ahead and select the file name. So we'll go for the libraries, documents, and in the documents we can see this mk01. This type. This is the mk01 file. We can select it out and execute. Okay, so what it is saying is we have a type conflict. So let's fix that type conflict now. So for type conflict, what the type conflict is, the system is saying that this p underscore file has got some property IPI, PPA, RMS something, but here the file name in the GUI underscore upload has some other property. What is that we have? File name is a string. So we need to create another field of type string. So let's create the s underscore file name type string. S underscore file name type string. So now what happens here is we'll go with uh, s underscore file name is equals to p underscore file. Because see, when we're trying to give p underscore file, this property and the file name property are different. So that's the reason it's giving an error. So let's go for s underscore file name. So now let's select this file. Let's give. Now it says hello. So now you'll be able to see this and we can access this records. Okay. So I didn't change the file. Actually, the file values have to be changed. I need to remove that extra fields. Yeah, this is done. So we have successfully uploaded. So first time, because the properties are varying, in GUI underscore upload, the file name has a property of string, and p underscore file, which we have to pass here, has a file property as IBIPERMS with hyphen path, which might have a different property. This will have a property of 128 length, and it's a pure character. This is what we have. So this is fixed. So this is how you can write the logic. You can access this program from ZDXC underscore MK0 underscore upload. And your file also got the previous. So there are a lot of advantages of session method. At the same time, for call transaction method also we have some advantages. But we need to understand which method we have to go for a particular scenario. If a client gives us a scenario, we should be able to distinguish whether call transaction would be better or session method. If you have less amount of data and when we have the master data, okay, simple data, simple uploads, we can always go further call transaction method because it runs instantly, and on the in the runtime itself we can fix up the issues and then we can run it. But if you have huge amount of data and we would like to run it somewhere sometime later, we want to schedule it for long time, later time and all, we'll go for session method. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and implement the session method for the same program. So you know for only, okay, so let me explain you that in this session method, loading the data from the flat file to internal table would be same, okay, and internal table to screens recording also will be same. I mean, like the process of internal table to screens when we load it. So here, instead of going for the call transaction method, we'll go for session method. For session method, instead of this we writing that program, we'll not write that code call transaction mk01 using BDC data, uh, mode A, mode A, update A. So this is all there now. So this mode A, update A, this will not be there. This logic will not be there. So what we'll simply write is, we'll write BDC underscore open underscore group. This is a function model. These are the function models. There will be three function models which we are going to use. Three function models. BDC open underscore group, and within the loop and loop, in between the loop and loop, at the end of the end loop, okay? At the end of the end loop, what we'll do is we'll go ahead with the BDC underscore insert. Then at the end, we'll go for BDC underscore close underscore group. So we'll have these three function modules which needs to be added into the program. So we will not call the call transaction. This is the major technical difference. Okay, so there are functional advantages of BDC session method, functional advantages of call transaction. But technically, from the ABAP point of view, this is the major difference. We will not write the call transaction method, call transaction command, and we will go for this BDC. And after executing, it will not be showing you anything. Okay, it will not show you any output or something like that. Then you have to go to SM35. A session will be created. This session, which gets created in the SM35, needs to be run or executed. So when we execute this, then the same process will be uploaded. So we can also have the packets of data. So as of now, we'll go for a single packet of data and we'll see how it loads. Okay. So let's understand the BDC session method. So let me take the same program because this is something which you have done very thoroughly. So let's take the same program and I'll focus on the session concept. So we'll go for BDC session method. So instead of directly copy, go for session upload. We'll go with the same program here. Till here everything is same. Then we have these parameters and selections and all these things. So this all is same. Till this function one. So same. After this, we'll go for BDC pattern. We click on pattern and we call this BDC underscore open underscore group. So we have done this. This will go ahead with uncomment this exporting. We'll go ahead with client name should be there and group name should be something like. I'll go for the group name as DXC team. Okay, so DXC team. Anything can be there. So keep user is sy uname sy hyphen uname. That's it. Whole data keep program name is sycprog. So rest of things you can just ignore them. Okay. So group name is mandatory actually, and exceptions we can uncomment them because if if we have an exception that automatically raises. So for each one of them, if the see, let's say if client is equals to invalid is one, then it means that size of RC is equals to one. So if size of RC is equals to one, that way that issue will be raised. Okay, I'll explain you that one story about the error exception handling. Okay, so BDC. Now after this, we'll write the loop statement. Loop at id underscore when into w underscore when. We'll go ahead with this. Refresh BDC data. So this entire recording will be the same as we have done. Okay. And then after this, we will not have this call transaction. Instead, we'll call the pattern and we'll go ahead with the open BDC underscore insert. Okay, BDC underscore insert. Now in this, we'll go ahead with the T code. That T code must be correct, exactly the same thing which we have done. So we are going for the MK01, right? So MK01 in capital letter, and then comment this. Then we go for this IT underscore. This one is a BDC data progress. So we'll go for IT underscore BDC data. IT underscore BDC data. So we have this, and then we'll go ahead with the end loop. After the end loop, we have to call the BDC underscore close underscore group. BDC underscore close underscore group. So this one we don't have to call anything. We just have to call it and leave it. That's it. After this BDC underscore close underscore group, we need to copy this forms, the forms which we have, the standard forms. Just have to go ahead with that. So we have the standard forms. Now here we'll go ahead with this. And we'll execute. Okay, we need to give the file name. The file name you have to pass it. Okay, let me first change the file name because the data that we had in that file is already been uploaded. So let me change that. Yeah, this is the MK01, right? So let me change this as something like C. So MK012 is what we have. So let me change that to MK0. Execute. Hello. So once it's been done, nothing will happen. You can't see. Actually, we can put a pop-up message that in successfully session is created or something like that. We can create a message here. But anyways, like we'll do that later. So what is our intention is to see how the process happens. So we go to SM35. In the SM35, you can see that DXC team, that session is created here. So select that and click on process. So when we are processing, now you can dynamically select whether it should be processed in the foreground, that is A, type A, or type E or type N, no screen display. No screen display means everything happens in the back. But I'd select the process in the foreground only. Let's see that process. So now it will open up that file, open up the screen and say enter. I think we have not changed the last value. In the file, I didn't change that as the two values have to be removed. Actually, here I need to remove this as keep it as INR. This is done now. So once it's been done, we can go to the log and we can see DXC team log. We can select that and go for the session overview. And if you go for session overview and go for the log, okay, DXC team, we double click on this. It will take you to the log, and in this log you can see how many transactions. If you see here, three transactions have been read, three transactions have been processed, zero with errors, zero with the transactions deleted. So these are all the options that we have here, and by default it is asynchronous. So this session method by default is asynchronous. So automatically, if even if one file fails, one record fails, it will go to the next screen and upload it. So this is what we have, and the screen number is what we have here. So the batch input has been entered. So we can see the log clearly. We don't have to worry about what happened in the backend log. So see, first there was an error, right? So in the error, what we have is the thousand currency key 1000 is not defined because currency key have to be given as INR, which we didn't give. So that's the reason we changed it. We changed it and then uploaded. That's the reason we couldn't see any errors here. Otherwise, if you we could have found the errors in the down. This is what we have in the session method. Session method is slightly different from the call transaction method, but conceptually it is different. And technically also we had to do some changes to make that indications here. So, okay, so this is about the call transaction method.